What's up, everybody? This is the MOBC, My Own Boxing Community, hosted by the crew himself, Ross Clout, aka Excalibur. And y'all please like, share, and subscribe. Okay? Salute Rodolfo Rivera. Salute. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Please. Please. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them views up. You know what I mean? Well, there's a lot of rage baiting going on out there. Um, before I start this video, let me say this about Usyk, okay? I think Usyk is the best heavyweight of this era. I picked Usyk to beat every single opponent he's faced at heavyweight. Okay? And I have my reasons why I picked Usyk to beat every single heavyweight that he faced. A lot of those reasons why I picked Usyk to beat Fury, to beat AJ, to beat Daniel Dubois, is pretty much the same reason why a lot of boxing fans picked Usyk to win. Not just Usyk's skill set and his speed and his angles, but the opponents that he faced and when he faced his opponents. Okay, salute 86 Boxing. Y'all subscribe to 86 Boxing. Salute, salute, salute. So, this is now, originally I was going to make a video on the Usyk and Dubois fight based only on the fight, right? That's it. But then I seen videos in my algorithm, and I seen comments of, for whatever reason, Muhammad Ali's name came into the picture. And all of a sudden, after Dubois losing to Usyk, it became a let's bash the past heavyweights' accomplishments and accolades. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you only could fight who's in your era. And this is like a true fact, right? And so all of a sudden now, everyone is comparing Muhammad Ali to Oleksandr Usyk. Same birthday, same height, same weight, as they say. But the one thing that they don't have in common is a stacked resume. I mean, they just don't. Now, I'm not one of those guys who, and I see it, I see people say it all the time, and I don't disagree with it. Like, I don't have a disagreement with it, with anyone who feels this way. This is how you feel about Usyk, you can. The narrative is Usyk doesn't have to fight anyone because he beat everyone there. That seems to be the narrative now. The narrative is Usyk is the undisputed heavyweight champion, and he doesn't have to fight any of the guys there. I mean, last time I checked, Kabalyu, he wasn't a prospect. People are calling him a prospect. People are calling Bicoli a prospect. People said Ejaba is a prospect. People said, and I've seen comments that nobody wants to see Parker fight Usyk, because his style isn't going to make it an exciting fight. So in other words, you guys want Usyk to retire on top without facing the other contenders. Now, keep in mind, you guys are the one who said that Usyk is still in shape, still at his best, still fast, has good fast reflexes, even said that he hasn't slowed down a bit. Well, if he's all those things, then why does he have to retire? I know why you guys want him to retire. And I say it all the time, just like I say it about Tank, just like I say it about Shakur, just like I say it about Jaron Boots Ennis, and any other active fighter out there. The more you fight, the probability of you losing becomes higher. That's why I never place Terrence Crawford above Inoue. Why? Because Inoue fights more than Crawford. That's why. And here we have, and I said it in my prediction video, I said the 3 fights that Dubois faced, 3 fighters that he beat, wasn't going to prepare him for Usyk. However, I find it strange that Dubois fought 3 different opponents. 3 different opponents that you all of a sudden now, Daniel Dubois, last time I checked, Philip Hergovich was a hype job. Big Baby Miller is fat and out of shape, and he's not that good on steroids. Anthony Joshua is mentally not there anymore, and he's not the same, and he's washed up. Well, if these are the guys that Daniel Dubois is beating, then why do we have to all of a sudden call Usyk the greatest heavyweight to ever live, beating a guy like Dubois? Had you guys called him a quitter? Do you guys remember? You guys called him a quitter against Joe Joyce. Fast forward, he wins some fights. Now he's fighting Usyk. You guys called him a quitter in that fight. Then, fast forward, they have a rematch. You guys called him a quitter in this fight. So, you guys got to salute Drunk Irishman, salute Actual Facts, salute Electro Jed. So, you guys got to make up your mind. Is Dubois an A-level fighter, or is he a quitter? Is he washed up? See, you guys play this game, well, Tyson Fury is the biggest heavyweight in history, and he could compete in any era. He could beat, there's no way Rocky Marciano and Ezra Charles and Gene Tunney would be able to beat Tyson Fury. There's no way that Sonny Liston could beat Tyson Fury. But before Tyson Fury was in talks of ever facing Usyk, you guys said that he was overrated. You guys were saying he was ducking Anthony Joshua. You guys said that the only person that he fought is Deontay Wilder. Last time I checked, according to a lot of you boxing fans out there, last time I checked, Wilder was overrated. Wilder only has a right hand. Wilder has bad footwork. Wilder can't throw a jab. Wilder doesn't know how to use his footwork. Wilder can't fight on the inside. Wilder doesn't know how to do angles. Wilder can't fight off the ropes. But that's the guy, the only guy, the best guy that Fury beat on his resume. This isn't looking too bad for Usyk, guys. Now, we look at Tyson Fury's career, because we're on Tyson Fury right now. We'll get to AJ later. I'm not doing this in order. Now, we go to Tyson Fury, and he goes life and death with Wilder. Now, the third fight I mean, the second fight, yeah, he won that fight, but there was still a lot taken out of him, just like there was a lot taken out of him in the first fight, right? And in between the Wilder fight, right? If I'm not mistaken, we watched Tyson Fury get smack beat out of him by Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, y'all. Hope y'all there. I had a, I don't know, bad connection or something. I don't know. So Otto Wallin beat up Tyson Fury. Then he goes on and has a war with Deontay Wilder. Well, when Wilder dropped him, it looked like a gigantic tree just smacking on the ground. Right? Just straight smacked on the ground. Now, we got to call a spade, right? We got to call a spade. You only can fight who's there. And I do give full credit to every single win that Usyk has gotten against AJ, against Fury. Even though I gave my reasons about Fury, that's part of the reason why I picked Fury to lose to Usyk, because of the wars that he had with Deontay Wilder. And we could see the decline in Deontay Wilder after the third fight with Fury. But moving on, we go to, let me read some comments real quick. Drunk Irishman says, Ali, Foreman, Listen, Frazier, Norton, Bugner, Ellis, Foster, Bonavina, Quarry, George Chavallo, Lyle, Cooper, Patterson, Moore, Cleveland, Zora Foley, Terrell. The list goes on, and Usyk is a great legend, but he ain't no Ali. I absolutely agree with that. Random, everybody, please subscribe to Random Acoustic Thoughts. It's another great channel. Also subscribe to the Drunk Irishman, another great channel. Salute, Slide Encounter. Salute. So, fast forward, we get to Anthony Joshua, right? Now, listen, and like I said, I'm not going in order, okay? I always thought highly of Anthony Joshua simply for the fact that he was one of, besides Usyk, is one of the heavyweights that genuinely was a legacy fighter, right? The fights with Wilder didn't go through because he ducked AJ. The fights with Fury didn't go through because it just didn't happen, right? You could see the pain in Anthony Joshua's eyes, the very first time he lost, losing to Usyk. You could see the tears in his eyes because he's a legacy fighter. And when you're a legacy fighter, I could care less about, how you lost or, the way you looked when you lost and so on and so forth. I don't care about none of that because when you're a legacy fighter, that means you're fighting the best who's out there, right? And besides Chisora, and Dillian White, and now Dubois, Anthony Joshua's resume is super solid, and it's still a better resume than Usyk's, right? I mean, you can make an argument that Derek Chisora's resume is better than Usyk's. You can make an argument that Dillian White's resume is better than Usyk. I mean, this is just a fact. But Usyk fought, quote unquote, the two best heavyweights out there. And one of them was a guy that you all said, again, was a quitter. Now, how many quitters is this guy going to fight? You guys said he quit against Andy Ruiz. Said he lost to a fat Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is overrated. He's just a power puncher. Andy Ruiz is slow on his feet, but he got fast hands. Andy Ruiz, the only way he could hit you is if you're a stationary target, which is what AJ gave him. Kind of underestimated, right? Kind of went a little overboard, when he hurts you or whatever, right? Kind of get overboard, just like he did with Daniel Dubois. It is what it is. But you all said that Anthony Joshua was overrated. This is what I'm hearing. Fast forward some, then Anthony Joshua redeems himself. He knocks out um he knocks out he outboxes Ruiz, stacks a few wins, and he does the one thing that Fury couldn't do. He knocked out an MMA fighter while we watch the quote-unquote best heavyweight who could compete and beat every heavyweight because he's so big, get his butt beat up by a guy who was never boxed professional before. Stop playing with the MOBC. I said it wasn't going to look good. Because if you put Jack Johnson, who fought 100-something plus years ago, ain't no way, in my opinion, is a guy who never boxed before going to go 10 rounds with no Jack Johnson. And we saw what Anthony Joshua did to Ngannou. 2 rounds and it was over. And you could see the disgust on Anthony Joshua's face for them to even have the audacity to put him in the ring in there with him. But, again, Fury is one of the best heavyweights that Usyk beat. And so is Anthony Joshua. Now, we go to Daniel Dubois, who quit against Joe Joyce. In fact, he got a broken orbital bone, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what he get. He talked about Joe Joyce's mom's eyesight, okay? You don't talk about nobody's moms. You don't talk about nobody's ma dupes, period. So I enjoyed every second of when Joe Joyce put the beats on Daniel Dubois with that jab. I mean, jabbed him to death, okay? Took his eye out. That's what he gets for talking bad about this dude's mother who ain't never said nothing bad about him. Who, if you invited, I bet you Joe Joyce had invited him to his house, Joe Joyce's mom would cook dinner for Daniel Dubois without even hesitating. I don't want to even go there. I'm glad he got whooped on it, and I'm glad Usyk beat him. Now, this isn't looking too good for the quote-unquote best heavyweight ever, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but when we're comparing heavyweights, number one, heavyweights today, they're fighting with 10-ounce gloves, all right? They're fighting with 10-ounce gloves, all right? Back in the days, heavyweights fought with 8-ounce gloves, and the gloves is smaller, and the gloves is more dense. That's why Usyk, when Usyk put his guards up, his whole face is covered. You can't do that back in the 60s, 50s, 40s, 70s. You couldn't put the gloves to cover up your whole... Why do you think everyone fight with a high guard? Because the gloves are gigantic. So back in the days, you had to parry jabs. You had to slip. You had to bob and weave. You had to slip and counter. You couldn't just put a high guard up. You just couldn't. So what are we doing over here when we want to do this comparison? This is why a fantasy fight is so asinine. It's so wasted. And I don't want to undervalue Usyk's accomplishments. I don't. I really don't, right? I don't want to disesteem his resume. I don't. I think he's the best heavyweight today. But just like Vladimir Klitschko's era that you guys all said is weak, is this era really better? Seriously, is this era really... How much better is it than Vladimir Klitschko's era? Not by much. Not by much. I mean, let's just be honest. See, the thing is, right? A lot of boxing fans out there, and I hate to say it, and I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it this time, right? A lot of boxing fans want to discredit Muhammad Ali because of ethnicity. It is what it is. And I listen, I get it. I know why. There's a lot of those, pro-black channels out there. They come off a certain way. I don't follow those channels. Here at the MOBC, we don't care about ethnicity. We only care about the fighter. If you blue, purple, green, Asian, black, purple, yellow, Native American, Indian, Puerto Rican, we don't care. We only care about the fighter in who he's fighting, right? So I get why these channels emerge out of nowhere and start making these claims that Usyk is the best, but it comes off as hate, right? It comes off as hate because I don't know if Usyk could beat Sonny Liston. I don't know if Usyk could beat Rocky Marciano just because he's bigger. Because he's not fighting anyone that fights like Sonny Liston. Just like he's not fighting anyone that fights like Rocky Marciano. He's not fighting anyone like Jack Dempsey. So I don't know. How am I supposed to know that the angles and the footwork is going to work for Usyk if he fought someone like Jack Dempsey? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Gene Tunney was outboxing the crap out of Jack Dempsey. But Jack Dempsey put him on the ground. Remember the long count. And Gene Tunney is one of the greatest boxers, pure boxers to ever lace him up. So how am I supposed to know if Usyk could beat all these guys? Oh, he could beat Foreman. Who did he fight that fights like Foreman? Who did he fight that fights like Mike Tyson? Like George Foreman? I don't see any heavyweight with the boxing skills, the pure boxing skills, knowing how to parry a jab, working off the jab, double jab, feinting. I don't see anyone fighting like Tim Witherspoon. There was this kid in the 70s. If you guys want to watch a good heavyweight fight, I believe his name was Roy Williams. And he had a 10-round fight with Larry Holmes. If you guys want to see pure boxing and a technical matchup, two technicians fighting each other, I recommend that fight. You won't see heavyweights fighting like that today. You just won't. Let's go to the comments. Usyk beats Dubois. Usyk's the GOAT. Inouye beats MJ. Inouye is the GOAT. Crawford beats Canelo. Crawford is the GOAT. Just please. Too many of these reporters from the boxing media live on the moment and say a lot of premature things about today's fighters and accomplishments without knowing the boxing history. That is 100% fact. And it's like it's one of them situations where it's like Muhammad Ali was fighting with pre-Parkinson's and still winning. I mean, he didn't have the medication and the supplements and the advanced training and the advanced medication and advanced, rehabilitation that they have nowadays. They didn't have that. I mean, for Christ's sakes, for Muhammad Ali to lose weight to fight Larry Holmes, he used a little thyroid situation going on. I mean, everything is advanced now, right? So it's supposed to evolve. But did it? That's a whole nother topic. But I can't sit here and say, I don't want to be that person that be like, just automatically, yeah, Usyk fights in 2025, so he's a lot better than the Jack Johnson era. He's better than Jess Willard and all those guys. And I'm like, with these guys fighting past 15 rounds, with smaller gloves, smaller ring, I don't understand the logic. Like, I can't comprehend these thoughts, these fantasies. Like I said, it's asinine. Listen, if you boxing fans out there feel that Usyk could beat Muhammad Ali and he could beat Mike Tyson and Holyfield and all these guys, so be it. So be it. I mean, even forget Muhammad Ali. Like I said, comparing Usyk to Holyfield is it's ridiculous. All right. I mean, do we have to go Michael Moore, George Foreman, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Bert Cooper? I mean, The list goes on. I mean, Holyfield's heavyweight, Riddick Bowe. Holyfield's heavyweight, I mean, he fought a lot of guys. Usyk fought 3 guys twice. Then he fought Chisora. Then I think he had to fight the other guy. I don't remember if it was before or after Chisora. But he's fighting the same guys. And on top of that, these guys aren't at their best. Let's just keep it real. They're not at their best. I heard someone say Usyk shouldn't have to defend his undisputed because technically he's not a heavyweight. That has to be the most, excuse my language, idiotic opinion I have ever heard. Because then if you're going to say that, then that falls for everyone. Oh, you know what? Tank Davis moved up to 140. You know what? Yeah, after beating Rolly Romero, he doesn't have to defend his title because he's not up there. Oh, you know what? Inouye just moved up to 135 and he beat Shakur Stevenson. But you know what? Inouye is really not lightweight, so he doesn't have to defend that title. Let him move down. Oh, Richard Hitchison, he just moved up to 147 from 140, but that's not his weight class. He doesn't. Stop it. Usyk is a heavyweight now. All right? He's a heavyweight now. And now I named some fighters that he could fight. You mean to tell me you guys want him to quit? So you don't want to see him fight Parker. You don't want to see him fight Egjagba. You don't want to see him fight Bicoli. You don't want to see him fight Parker. Huh? I mean, what are we doing? Okay, I get it. Moses Atama, whatever his name is, he's green. But if they signed a fight, I bet you we'd all watch it, would we not? So he doesn't have to fight any of the other contenders out there because you guys said so. This is just ridiculous, man. It's just, Roscott, check out the comment I posted on the community post. Some guy told me Usyk's greater than Sugar Ray Robinson. You know, I don't know how. I mean, listen, Sugar Ray Robinson fought Jake LaMotta, 6 times? But he also fought a whole bunch of other guys. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, so we're going here, right? So we're thinking about Usyk, right? And after the fight, Usyk says, you know, he wants to rest and be with his family, and rightfully so, he can rest. Did he mention fighting Tyson Fury again? Or, like, you'd fight Tyson Fury again? Really? Just say, hey, you want the money. Just say it, Usyk. Just say you want the money. I get it. You money Usyk now. You TBE. You TBE now. You are the Ukrainian TBE. There, ladies and gentlemen, Usyk is here for the money. He wants to fight Tyson Fury again. And if he beats Tyson Fury, they're going to make AJ fight a nobody, and then he'll fight AJ again coming off of a win. I think that's what the plan is. I don't understand what's going on, but just say you want to make money. Just say it. Let's see here. Johnny come lately, but Usyk is the best of today. Yeah, if you came in earlier, I have Usyk as the best today. I also have him pound for pound #1 simply because the heavyweight division is the king of divisions and he is the undisputed champion. However, as an undisputed champion, you should defend it. And I'm criticizing him. I will criticize him if he doesn't defend it the same way I did it with Terrence Crawford. If you don't win undisputed and you don't defend that title, I mean, you got to do it. Okay? I mean, Usyk defending this cruiserweight title against Tony Bellew. Whoa, that was a big win, wasn't it? God, goodness gracious. Woo! Tony Bellew. I remember fighters had to earn their major title opportunities to go through the ranks, get the NABF, yep, or the USBA, yep, titles to land major title shots. Now, and to make it even better, slider counter, to add to your, this is a great comment. To add to that comment, you had to face tough opposition to get the NABF or the USBA. You wasn't fighting no slouches. Nowadays, we got slouches. I mean, come on, man. Manny Pacquiao was 46 years old, for Christ's sakes. We watched that man beat Barrios. Oh, Barrios was taking it easy on him. Barrios was carrying him. Nah. I'm not going to discredit. I mean, we don't want to discredit Usyk, right? We don't want to discredit Usyk, right? Oh, no. Usyk fought the best there is. Dubois, he's one of the best heavyweights. He beat Philip Herkovich. He beat Big Baby Miller. So let's not do that. If we're going to do that to Pacquiao, we're going to do that to Usyk. Let's not do that to Pacquiao. Don't say that, oh, Barrios carried him. And no. He felt that power and he was hesitant. Because the one thing you don't want to do is get knocked out by the 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao who ain't fought in 4 years. Period. I completely agree. Man, that's a fact, man. Salute. We don't need another Fury fight. Fight Parker and retire. Now, I don't mind him retiring if he fights Parker. However, if fans keep saying that he's still the best, he's still in top shape, I'm sorry, Usyk. Fans want to keep seeing you fight. See, they don't want you to keep fighting because, like I said, the probability of you losing. You know what I'm saying? You know, Johnny coming up. What do you mean? With all due respect, with what, Vaughn? Oh, let's see. Parker deserved next, no doubt. But I got a feeling Rosklight might discount that fight too. No, so you missed it in the beginning, Vaughn. I said that he should fight Parker. You weren't there in the beginning. I specifically said he should fight Parker because Parker presents a different style than everyone else. You know, he's not robotic and slow like AJ and Dubois. So I wouldn't be discrediting. I'm not discrediting him now. I'm not discrediting Usyk at all. I'm just stating the facts for the people out there who was claiming that he's the best heavyweight in the world. So I got to call a spade a spade. I got to give the circumstances of when he fought Fury, who had the wars, who wasn't the same when he fought Wilder, who had a war with Wilder, and fans were saying Wilder was overrated and only had a right hand. But that same guy gave Fury 3 hard fights. Fast forward, we talk about Anthony Joshua, who's a quitter, who's overrated, who's mentally weak. These are all the things that was said prior to fighting Usyk until Usyk was in talks of facing him and then face him. Now, all of a sudden, Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight today. So I'm just simply stating what a fact is. And the fact of the matter is, right? Fact of the matter is, Usyk has now recycled 3 opponents. When is he going to fight someone else? He literally said after the fight, he would like to entertain fighting Tyson Fury. And then you got Tyson Fury making videos. He's jogging. He's calling out Usyk. Guys, if they have a 3rd fight, and they don't need a 3rd fight, what are we going to say about Usyk now? And let me get this. And let me say this too. Now that you just reminded me. Now that you guys reminded me, because I just thought about something. Now we're talking about quitting and so on. You know, we're talking about who shouldn't fight who. Last time I checked, a lot of boxing fans out there was saying, why does Daniel Dubois get to have a rematch? It's going to be the same results. He quit in the last fight. It was an illegal shot. It was legal to me. It was an illegal shot. He was dominating prior to the low blow, and then he got stopped after. Well, Where did all that energy go all of a sudden? Now, all of a sudden, Dubois is just the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, like I said, fans got to make up their mind. All right? Because we can't keep doing this comparison. They was doing it back in the days with Mike Tyson when he had his run. They was doing it with Lennox Lewis when he had his run. They did it with Vlad when he had his run. And now they're doing it with Usyk. Why? Because people just don't like Muhammad Ali for whatever reason. Muhammad Ali calls himself the greatest. He calls himself the greatest. You guys don't have to think he's the greatest. I got a lot of friends out there who got Jack Johnson #1, who got Joe Louis #1, who got Lennox Lewis #1, who got Larry Holmes #1. It's all opinionated. So if you think Usyk is #1, then he's #1 to you. I'm just saying, if you got an opinion, boxing fans out there, the MOBC has an opinion as well. And we don't think that Usyk is the best heavyweight to ever live. We don't. We just don't. Bradley 68. Oh, yeah, anybody can get it. I mean, I don't think Fury is overrated. In my opinion, I don't think he's overrated at all. I just think Usyk fought him at a time where he's not his best. Right? Some fights could take a lot out of you, and you're just never the same. I mean, look at for instance, I don't know why people pick Tim Tszyu to beat Fondora. I have no idea why. He took a beating in that fight. Bad corner. You never let your fighter get beat up like that. And then we saw when he fought the kid. What was the kid name that beat up Tim Tszyu? Was it Boachuk? I can't even remember the kid's name. But he beat Tim Tszyu all over the place. I'm sorry. He wasn't going to beat Fondora because of one fight. One fight ruined him. The third fight with Wilder and Fury, the way Fury smacked the ground when he got dropped. It's a good thing that Wilder is limited. Because if Wilder wasn't limited, Wilder would have won that fight. But he's just a limited fighter. Look at Anthony Joshua. Now, you could lose a lot physically, and you could lose a lot mentally. Right? Anthony Joshua's case, everything physical is there. Still throwing punches, correct, still throwing jab, still throwing hooks, still power. But the mental isn't there. The mentality isn't there. Not only that, Usyk is a great fighter. Usyk is faster than these guys, better footwork than these guys, better punch placement than these guys. He has everything better than these guys. So we can't just discredit Usyk. But at the same time, let's not disrespect the past fighters and just to big up another one. It wasn't Rocky Marciano's fault that everyone was kind of on a decline when he fought them. That's not his fault. Sure, he could have fought Floyd Patterson. Sure, he could have stuck around and fought Sonny Liston, but he didn't. But he fought the guys that was in his era the best for his time in his prime. And a lot of people don't like to hear this, but prior to beating Joe Louis was on a winning streak. I'm sorry, but he was. Now, was he at his best? Probably not, but he was still on a winning streak, and that got to count for something. Facts. He got Park and Cabo. You're waiting on opportunity, but might fight a trilogy with an opponent he's got 2-0 on. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? He better not. I feel like Parker deserves this shot more than a lot of these guys. If Ejagba and Bicoli have a rematch, and the winner out of that, I'd like to see Usyk fight one of those big guys. I mean, if he's the step up above Ali and Bacoli is quote unquote today's modern Foreman, then how come he won't fight Bacoli? Right? He could fight Bacoli. Ali was past his prime when he fought. Jimmy Young was one of the slickest boxers in the 70s. Reason why he lost that fight? Because he kept sticking his head out of the ropes and just being silly. So today, slick, I guess we could say somewhat slick would be Parker. Do you see how that sound? Parker is a slick fighter of today. Does he really look slick to y'all? Usyk is slick. Usyk is slick. Usyk is slick. But like I said, again, Usyk is the best heavyweight of this era. You only could fight who's in your era, and you be the best in your era. Lennox was the best of his era. Before Lennox, Holyfield was the best of his era, right? Larry Holmes was the best of his era. Ali was the best of his era. You know what I'm saying? Rocky, like people have their era. Joe Louis was the best of his era. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has, you know, if Vitaly didn't get those injuries, he probably could have been the best of his era as well. And the two brothers would have been dominating. You know, unfortunately, injuries, right? But there's no point in devaluing the past because you feel like, you know, your opinion is they're weak, they're too small, they're this, they're that, they're cruiserweights of today and all that. No, they're heavyweights. They're heavyweights. If a lot of the guys in the 70s fought today, they'd be heavier. They'd be heavy too. They'd just be shorter, but they'd be heavy. But if Usyk could fight at 6'3", Larry Holmes can't. Tim Witherspoon can't. Muhammad Ali can't. Jimmy Young, like these guys can't box. These big guys, but only Usyk can, right? Only Usyk can. That's all I'm saying. You only could be who the best you are in your era. And again, it's opinion. If you guys feel like Muhammad Ali, if he's the best ever and he could beat Muhammad Ali, that's fine. We'll never know if Usyk could beat Mike Tyson. We'll never know if Usyk could beat Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, Sonny Liston. We don't know. But what we do know is that every fighter I named will forever go down as having a better resume at heavyweight than Oleksandr Usyk. And that is a fact. This is the MOBC, my own boxing community. Please like, share, and subscribe.